Did you know that the Grade 6 Achievement Test, GSAT, will be replaced by a new examination called the Primary Exit Profile, PEP? If you didn't, now you know. Welcome to another informative edition of Jamaica Magazine. I'm Adrian Atkinson. Until GSAT is replaced, thousands of students will sit the 2016 examinations this Thursday and Friday. As they prepare, we're offering some words of advice from the Ministry of Education and our friends Outta Road. So stay with us as we unfold the package.
The Program of Advancement through Health and Education PATH offers a wide range of benefits for students. Children on PATH are among the top achievers in the GSAT and CSEC examinations each year.
It gives me a sense of stability and it takes some stress off my parents because even though they're working and money might not be enough, it helps them to send me to school.
If your family is struggling, PATH might be the option for you. Just take your birth certificate and valid identification to the Ministry of Labour and Social Security office in your parish. For further information, visit the Ministry's website at www.mlss.gov.jm or call 1-888-991-PATH. That is 1-888-991-7284.
Good day, I'm Lorraine Mendez and this is your JIS News for Tuesday, March 15. Health Minister Dr. Christopher Tufton says the ministry is taking steps to ease the current shortage of specialist nurses in the public health sector.
We have to develop a strategy, firstly to train more persons, secondly to engage in our own collaboration with our other friendly countries in the past like Cuba and India, where we can have exchange programs to recruit some of their own specialists because their training pool is a lot bigger. And other creative ways, looking at the retirement pool and perhaps bringing persons, many of them who themselves practice in countries in North America and in England who have retired back home and who can still play a role even on a temporary basis, looking at that as an option.
47 healthcare workers, including doctors, dentists, and specialist nurses, are expected to arrive on the island from Cuba in the coming weeks. The first batch of 20 is scheduled to arrive on Monday, March 21. In the meantime, Dr. Tufton is urging frontline health workers to get vaccinated to protect themselves against the influenza A H1N1 virus. Dr. Tufton made the call as he gave assurance that the ministry had shored up its supply of the H1N1 vaccine.
If for any reason frontline staff are still concerned and unaware that the vaccine is available, they can get in touch with us at the ministry and we will happily take whatever measures are necessary to help them to access it.
The health minister is also encouraging persons experiencing flu-like symptoms and who suspect that it may be H1N1 to get assessed by a primary healthcare provider instead of going to a hospital in the first instance. The Economic Program Oversight Committee, EPOC, is reporting that Jamaica is poised for increased prosperity, given that the most difficult aspects of Jamaica's economic reform program are already completed.
I feel that we are on the right track and we do have good prospects ahead of us. But I say that within the context of knowing that we have a long way to go. At 120% debt to GDP, we're still twice what it should be.
Richard Biles was speaking on Monday at a pension investment seminar hosted by Sagicor Group Jamaica. He added that as Jamaica's debt decreases, government would be better able to invest in infrastructure projects and other initiatives to grow the economy. Mr. Biles also reiterated that under Jamaica's ERP, which was supported by the International Monetary Fund, the country's current account deficit was less than 5% and the net international reserves was over $2 billion. Jamaica can expect better management of its water resources following Monday's launch of a waste management center at the University of Technology. The center has laboratories to facilitate research in water management. It represents a partnership among the university's Faculty of Engineering and Computing, the Inter-American Development Bank through its Caribbean Regional Fund for Wastewater Management, NEPA, and the NWC.
It would help us to manage better the availability of water, how we can utilize water that would otherwise go to waste. But apart from that, there's the environmental issue of how we utilize water that would otherwise go to waste in a way that is environmentally friendly.
Minister of Science, Energy and Technology Dr. Andrew Wheatley says government is committed to propelling the local animation industry. He says work is already underway to facilitate greater penetration and accessibility of broadband internet and growth in the mobile subscriber base for animation and gaming. Minister Wheatley was speaking at the opening ceremony for the second successful staging of Kingston on the weekend.
These indicators, ladies and gentlemen, validate the importance of not only Kingston, but other programs and initiatives that drive animation and innovation. We intend to keep these programs and develop them even further.
Kingston supports the ministry's youth employment in digital and animation project, which benefits from $20 million in funding from the World Bank. The Ministry of Education is improving its current programs to tackle math challenges among students. Strategies include placing math coaches in underperforming schools and assigning math specialists to assist teachers.
We also have an initiative that we refer to as Operation Turnaround, where we're working with schools at the high school level that have the majority of the children scoring grade 4 in CXC. So through training and camps and competitions, again, what we're trying to do is to excite them, is to work with the students on a one-on-one basis to ensure that we bump them up so that they actually make the marks.
The Education Ministry's Permanent Secretary was speaking at last Thursday's National Mathematics Exposition held under the theme Math Counts. And finally, starting tomorrow, the Ministry of Justice will be located at 61 Constant Spring Road in St. Andrew. In a release, Permanent Secretary Carol Palmer said the relocation is due to poor air quality at the ministry's 2 Oxford Road, New Kingston office, which has aggravated respiratory problems for some employees. For further information, persons may contact the ministry at 906-4923-31. And that's it for JIS News today. I'm Lorraine Mendez. Thank you for watching.
Some marine, you know. Yeah?
Yeah, man, I have the package 6,000.
60,000.
Yeah.
How much I want?
Yeah, man, 2 bays I want.
Man, the one that's yeah, man. Same. Alright,
what one, cat?
you don't know, I sit downtown the other day there.
Oh.
I want to come brethren them and we buy and sell marina. One of them I sell a 6-pack for $1,000 and the next one I sell one for $200.
So where buy?
Buy 5 of them for $1,000. Think them can't rob me.
So Uncle Fancy is the same $1,000 you would spend to get the 6? Seriously?
Tell them again now my math brains.
Math count.
Math count.
Sponsored by the Ministry of Education.
So, as I mentioned at the top of the show, GSAT is being held this Thursday and Friday. And we know students sitting the exam tend to get nervous and anxious. But listen, there's no need to be. As the Ministry of Education is reminding you, it's just a test. So, keep calm and do your best.
You can get it if you really want. You can get it if you really want. You can get it if you really want. But you must try. Try and try. Try and try.
For most students, it's no easy feat to make the transition from primary or preparatory school to the next leg of the journey, which is normally a high or junior high school. To pave the way for that next step, each year thousands of students island-wide are tested in key competencies in the exam known to all as GSAT. Sweaty palms, anxious bodies, and frazzled nerves plague many of these students leading up to the big day. But as you prepare for this year's Grade 6 Achievement Test, youngsters, shed the nerves, because we've got some tips to help you keep calm and do your best.
Try and try. You'll succeed at last.
take enough pencils to the examination, listen to the instructions of the examiners, and concentrate on completing the papers on time. It is not about what your friends or your classmates are doing. It is about your concentration and what you have recorded on the paper.
Some students let their nerves get the best of them, and when it's time for multiple choice papers, they make the mistake of shading in their answers in the wrong line. It's an error that can spell disaster for good results.
I also want for this year to encourage our students to ensure that you coordinate well the eye movement from the question paper to the pre-slugged answer sheet. So many times we see where students have actually missed the number for the question, and when that happens, it messes up the entire numbering and answers, and sometimes a student who would have otherwise done exceptionally well would have gotten very low grades.
Students are not the only ones who have the GSAT jitters. We know parents are sometimes more nervous than the youngsters.
Parents are being reminded of the following. Remain calm. Support rather than pressure your children at this time. Ensure that the GSAT candidates are well rested before the examination. Make plans for your children's nutritious meals, not only over the 2 days, but at least they should have been on a program by now. Importantly, they should at least have a proper breakfast before they are taken or sent to the examinations. Leave the examination centers as soon as your children have settled down to do the examinations. There is no point remaining there because that also creates some kind of nervousness for the children.
Students, you have worked hard, been adequately prepared by your teachers and parents. So take a deep breath, settle down, and do your best. And our final reminder to you:
be confident in yourselves. You have done your preparation, and with preparation, you will be able to do well on your examinations.
You can get it if you really want. You can get it if you really want. You can get it if you really want, but you must try.
Some sound words there from the Chief Education Officer. Students and parents, do take note. We also took to the streets to hear some more tips from our friends Outta Road.
I advise him to relax, not to pressure themselves too much, and instead of studying too hard, actually take a break, sleep, just be calm.
Just remember that you hold your destiny. It does not only depend on the teachers or parents themselves, but you yourself. You can quiz yourself, make your own exam questions, teach others around you, teach yourself, so that at the end of the day, when it comes on to the exam, you're ready and determined, because it's the attitude that you go into the exam room with, it will be reflected on your grades.
Basically, just study hard and put my head to it, and give their best effort, have confidence.
They could just keep calm, do their best, and in the end, the hard work will pay off.
It doesn't matter when the date is, you'll do well. So do what you have to do, and let's hope the best is good enough.
Study hard, pay attention to the revision. I know many teachers are now going through a revision process. Pay attention, stay focused. And I know as children that they sometimes love their video games and the TVs and the different shows, but this is the time you have to sacrifice it because you want to achieve what you want to achieve to go further on in life. So my advice to you is just to give it a break, make the sacrifice, because it will be worth it in the end.
As the Grade 6 Achievement Test GSAT draws near, parents, teachers, and students are anxious. To ease their anxiety and to better prepare students for the exams, Rousseau Primary in St. Andrew recently held a motivational session. First up, grammar tips when writing essays for communication task, a critical component of the GSAT exams.
A lot of can only be used with some things that can be measured, but not something that can be counted. So you can't say a lot of people were there. You can't say a lot of children were there. That's wrong. It is correct if you say a large number of. It is correct if you say many persons were there. It is correct if you say several persons were there. I see run-on sentences, you have to avoid them. When you are writing, if you want to get the 11 or the 12 out of 12 children, you have to avoid those run-on sentences. It is best if you write short sentences and put in your full stops. What you can use to look out for them is when you use the word "and" too many times in a sentence.
It's very important to get a good night's sleep before your exam. Make sure that you go to the examination center early so that you're not rushing, because a lot of your preparation is making sure that your mind is rested and that you're relaxed in your body. You tend to remember what you know when you are relaxed. And if you're under stress, as they said, no to stress. If you're stressed out, if you're late for the exam, if you're rushing to the exam area, you're not going to remember as much as you normally would. And of course, it's very important to have a good breakfast before on the morning of the exam, because the most important organ that you need to feed on that day is your brain. And if your brain doesn't have enough energy, then you're not going to perform as well. For you to be as relaxed as possible, when you sit, your thighs and your thighs, this is your thigh. Your thighs should be flat on the chair, and your feet should be flat on the floor. So that relaxes your hips and it relaxes your knees. When seated around the desk, you want to be as close to the desk as possible, so that way you don't have to lean forward too much. So that when you have your paper in front of you, you don't have to bend your head too much forwards, because if you have to bend your head too much forward, it's going to cause the back of your neck to get tired after a while. What you can do to wake up your muscles every now and again, like every 10 or 15 minutes, depending on how you're feeling, there are little things that you can do to wake up your muscles. So you can do it from your head down, or you can do it from your legs up. You can put your left hand on your left leg, and take your right hand, just rest it on top of your head, and you're looking straight ahead, and you just gently pull your head over to your right until you feel a little stretch in your neck. Everybody feeling that? And you hold it for about 5 seconds, and then you relax. You put your right hand in your lap, put your left hand on your head, and pull to the left, so you're stretching the muscles to that side. Okay? And then another thing you can do is just simply gently do a little circle with your head.
Play is very important to the development of children. It allows them to use their creativity and develop their imagination. Through play, children interact with the world around them. They learn how to work in groups, share and resolve conflicts.
They learn rules and they learn about respecting others and waiting turns and setting their own rules and guidelines for their games.
Set limits, but allow your children to play. It will help them develop the confidence and resilience needed to conquer future challenges.
For many students, whether at the primary, secondary or tertiary level, an incentive to work harder is the chance to get a scholarship, to help take the load off mommy and daddy. We now share with you some scholarship opportunities offered by the government.
Government, through its various ministries and agencies, awards a number of scholarships to students each year. You too could qualify and benefit from a scholarship or grant, but you must seek in order to find. At the primary level and moving on to high school, students who do GSAT each year and earn high scores can get scholarships from the Ministry of Education.
The scholarships are awarded to students from both public and private institutions. The government in itself, the Ministry of Education, offers a total of 32 scholarships, government scholarships, yearly to students who sit GSAT examination.
Of the 32, 4 are named after prominent Jamaicans, former government minister J.A.G. Smith, and 3 of the national heroes, Marcus Garvey, Paul Bogle, and George William Gordon. To qualify for these, students must meet some personalized criteria, generally related to the person in whose honor the scholarship is named.
For example, the Paul Bogle Scholarship, it is offered to a boy or a girl who must be attending Morant Bay High School. So if a child is selected to attend Morant Bay High School, then that child qualifies to be among those who will be selected. But the bottom line is that it would be based on performance. Basically, the 28 scholarships are awarded based on performance purely. And it is awarded to all school types. So private, which we refer to the prep schools, all-age schools, primary and junior high primary school students.
Since these students are selected based entirely on scores, the process is rather easy. In addition to these, the Education Ministry also offers sponsored scholarships, extended through private sector institutions such as banks to top-performing students. High schoolers, you might have just completed 5th or 6th form and are ready to experience the college life. In case you didn't know, the Student Loan Bureau actually offers grants. Yes, under its specially designed Grant in Aid GIA program, students receive a specified non-repayable sum to assist with the funding of school-related expenses. It's not a full scholarship, but it can certainly help to make a difference. Check out the Bureau's website to see if you qualify or call them at 754-2559. Then there is JAMVAT. The Jamaica Values and Attitudes program is another viable option from the Ministry of Education. Students volunteer for 200 hours and in turn earn a payoff of 30% of their tuition fees as well as an additional stipend. A great reason to volunteer indeed. For those of you already in university, the Ministry of Education's tertiary level unit is a great place to start your search. You can stop by their offices, make a call, or simply log on to their website, click on scholarships, and a long list of opportunities opens. The Ministry of Finance and the Ministry of Foreign Affairs also have a number of scholarship programs in place, especially if you're looking for opportunities to study abroad. Think Cuba, Russia, Japan. If you need help in your search for scholarships, Another government agency, the National Center for Youth Development, which falls under the Ministry of Youth and Culture, also displays scholarship options for students on its website.
All the people them with a Zig V, hold up your hand. Zig V in the Caribbean territory, but we now want that virus take set pan we. So make sure send us stagnant water inside and mash up all mosquito breed inside. More hole in the tin them where you dash way and change the water in your vase every day. No litter, dispose of your garbage proper. You know them the thing that we turn drain backer. Tour your community and tour your yard for suppress mosquito. We have figure hard dash we old tire turn over drum pan for prevention is the greatest weapon. And special shout out to pregnant ladies. Protect yourselves and protect your babies. Draw for your zapper and your mosquito spray. If you do all that we can to keep them away. For we know what's in vain.
Wet hands with water. Apply enough soap to cover all hand surfaces. Rub hands palm to palm. Right palm over left dorsum with interlaced fingers and vice versa. Palm to palm with fingers interlaced. Backs of fingers to opposing palms with fingers interlocked. Rotational rubbing of left thumb clasped in right palm and vice versa. Rotational rubbing backwards and forwards with clasped fingers of right hand in left palm and vice versa. Rinse hands with water. Dry hands thoroughly with a single-use towel. Use towel to turn off faucet. Your hands are now safe.
That's a wrap on today's show. Thank you for viewing The Pages with us. We invite you to share your views by emailing us at jamaicamagazine@gis.gov.jm. Stay in the know by visiting our website at gis.gov.jm and check us out on Instagram, Twitter and Facebook. I'm Adrian Atkinson. Join us again tomorrow for another edition of Jamaica Magazine.
This has been a production of the Jamaica Information Service, the voice of Jamaica.